Hey guys, VSIC here. Now, as I've stated, I am actually an introvert myself. And, over the years, especially since I was a teenager, and I would say I was officially introverted when I was a teenager, I used to be kind of more extroverted. Now, I always think it's funny how, you know, some people talk about, people like myself that are introverted. And most of the time when they talk about, introverts, I'd say 9 times out of 10, they typically don't even know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to people that are introverted. I don't know why there is so much misinformation about, introverted people going around. But the only real difference between somebody that's extroverted and somebody that's introverted really is that, how should I put this? We energize or get energy differently from somebody that's extroverted. Now, an extrovert, gets their energy by, going out and being very social with even strangers. They like to be plugged into the system, so to speak, when it comes to getting their energy and going out. Whereas an introvert like myself, we do not energize ourselves like that. We don't get energy like that. In fact, it's like the opposite for somebody that's introverted when it comes to getting energy. The negative part of we're like the negative side of the battery, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like we're kind of like a wireless controller. I guess the best way to put it when it comes to getting our energy. We sit by ourselves in our own little area, alone, or maybe with one other person, maybe, or controller, maybe, but, we sit there by ourselves, maybe watch TV, we just sit there, you know, doing our menial task or doing our hobbies, and that's how we get our energy back. Actually also once talked to this one introverted lady. She said that what she likes to do on her spare time is that she just knits, you know, and that she's really good at knitting and all that, like scarves and everything. She just likes to knit and sit there and knit. And she said that she's like so introverted that it's even a chore for her to just go out and go shopping for like groceries. It's like such a chore for her, and it just takes her energy away when she goes out to go grocery shopping. Then she goes back home, and then it's just like, oh, I'm done. And typically, you might see somebody that's more introverted with somebody that's likes to control the conversation. They like people, typically like people that control these conversations for them, so that they can observe without using up so much energy. Because it's not like somebody that's introverted doesn't like talking to people. I mean, just like I actually like talking to people, but it takes our social batteries out of us. We aren't a wired controller like somebody that's extroverted who needs to stay plugged into the system. We are a wireless controller. And so after a short period of time, let's say of 24 hours to 2 days, our battery runs out. And, we need to chill at our house or something. But just recently, this month, like early this month, a game came out on Steam. And me and my brother actually saw this on Steam just the other day. It came out March 2nd, 2021. So pretty recent. And it's called Introverts, a Teenager Simulator. I'll show you a picture of it right there. I mean, you can kind of see it. It's on Steam, like I said. And here's the description on it. One of the new guys in school tells you he's going to shoot up the school if he doesn't make a friend in 5 days. Okay, we're going to stream here, aren't we? Discover the decisions, people, situations you will encounter while playing and trying to make sense of your own and living your own life. And then that's a description right there. I'm just like, okay. I don't really see anything else in the description here, but when I read that, I was just like, oh my God, it's not like we're a bunch of sociopaths or something, or antisocial. Antisocial is so different from somebody that's, introverted like myself. I would, request that anybody watching this, look into that kind of stuff. What, psycho, sociopath, antisocial, what all that stuff really is. And of course, not everybody that's a serial killer is a psycho, obviously. I mean, a psycho could actually be your boss for all you know, actually. But anyway, enough about psychos. But yeah, man, growing up, I mean, yeah, people just actually weren't really that nice to me. In fact, I actually I completely became an introvert, for good when after getting bossed around after getting out of homeschool actually quite a bit when I was younger as a teenager. And like I said, that pretty much sealed the deal on me and being an introvert for life. I've already tried changing it, trust me. There's just no going back to being an extrovert like I used to be when I was a kid. That's just how life is sometimes. That it was also from a lot of isolation. But anyway, moving on. I'm over all that shit. So, but even to this day, as a 30-year-old adult, I still get stigmatized sometimes. And sometimes people will, occasionally approach me and it's like they think I need help with something. And it's like, oh, hey, go over there and dance and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, like, I understand you're trying to be nice and help, but I don't need help. We could sit here and chat for a moment like I'm fine. I don't need any help. And every now and then when I tell people that I don't need help, it's like they get upset at me, and they act like I'm, not honest, or I'm not difficult, or I'm just being difficult or something. Like I'm just some fucking asshole just because I'm an introvert. I'm just like, hey man, let's just have a conversation. Like, it's okay. And then there was a couple situations where I actually had to leave the building that I was at because it was actually starting to get a bit out of control with, these people sometimes. It just gets so hectic. I just don't think that some people really know how to react to somebody that is different from them sometimes. And, that, and again, some of the rumors that tend to go around with, people that are introverted like myself, it's like, some people just seem to think introverts are like this kid that'll just shoot up a fucking school for just because they're an introvert or something. And it's not like that. It's not like that at all. I mean, I'm not about to go to some school and shoot up the place or even a workplace. And sometimes when people get a little bit quiet, it just means that they're stressed out sometimes. And they are going through anxiety, actually, is the deal. Now, of course, they can sometimes be introverted, but that's just one thing that you need to keep in mind. And when you see that, you need to not boss them around, because I've seen that sometimes when people start to go through anxiety and they start to get a little bit quiet, for whatever reason, there are people and guys at the workplace that will actually boss them around because they see it as a weakness. And then what happens is that since they're going through anxiety and they're getting bossed around, then after, let's say, a number of years of being, bossed around and bullied, now, like I just said, this takes a number of years for this to happen. This doesn't just happen. Over a number of years, these people can become mentally ill. And next thing you know, they're shooting up the place. Now, this has been happening more and more in the past few decades. And one of the bigger cases in the past, of course, is why they call it going postal, because one of the bigger cases happened in the post office. So now they call it going postal, right? But of course, enough about that. Again, I am not going to be shooting up workplaces. And yes, some of my friends in the past have made fun of me for being quiet and possibly shooting up a place. But, I, of course, always just let jokes go. I don't take them too seriously. I'm not a stubborn jackass like that. I actually have a very big sense of humor, if you can't tell. But, of course, with that being said, I guess I'll stop this video. But just so you know, there have been, I would say, a good number of times when I haven't been able to get a job just because I was an introvert, and people would just assume that I wouldn't speak up if something happens. Just so you know. It is really fucking dumb. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.